fire tribe. What was your take on them?
There's this one scene where Varang talks to Quaritch, and she talks about how there was this volcano that destroyed their world, and they cried out to the mother goddess, and she didn't answer. This whole thing about the Na'vi is that they are part of this quasi-psychic hive mind, where everything is connected to everything else. Now we're seeing a group of Na'vi that is denied that, right? Like, because they live in a part of Pandora that is dead. But then that lasted all of 2 sentences. And after that, Varang specifically, but also all of her people, they're basically just caricatures. Like, she just turns into a lunatic.
For me, there's like a few things about like a villain that, you know, you kind of have to get right for me to appreciate you as a villain. I think a big one is just like presence, what kind of presence you are on the screen.
She definitely has a presence. I will not deny that. I would say that she disappears after she hooks up with Quaritch.
That I agree with. But they gave me enough for me to be like, okay, if you do bring her back, I would like to see kind of like what you do with her and like try to make her a little bit more of an imposing threat in the next movie.
The thing that kind of I expected after her initial appearance is that she may not be the smartest, but she has a strategy for making her people thrive, right? And that includes making the alliance with Quaritch, right? So that she gets all these weapons. And it's not like that she's getting played, right? She just stops being a character at some point.
But ultimately, the villain in this movie is always going to be Quaritch. I feel like she more feeds into him as opposed to her being upfront and a prominent villain. She's like this complex character, and the movie's about her versus like Jake Sully and this and the other.
I think what I would have wanted is like a scene where her people start following him, maybe because he's stronger or because he puts on a better show or because he has the guns, or there's some reason for why they follow him instead of her. And a scene where she realizes this and tries to get it back and can't. And realizes that she can't, that she's lost them. Because the way I read it was they hook up and she stops being a character.
You're wanting the story to kind of play out where she almost wrestles him for power because she kind of like sees it slipping away and she sees that like she's losing followers to him, but you've kind of finally met your equal. Like you're like, this is someone that's as dominating as you, as like fierce as you, as like strong as you. And she likes it and she embraces it. And she's like, yeah, like take it over. Like, you know, like I'll follow you.
But is there a scene that shows this?
I feel like the scene that they have where they almost like wrestling for dominance in that tent, the tent scene, which is like a fantastic scene in the movie, is like she's at first got the upper hand. You know, you can see that she's like smart, she's tactical, she's using all of her charm and all of her wits to kind of like impose her will over him. But he's not backing down. He's just as strong. And then when she connects with him, she kind of sees how strong he is.
Yeah, and then when she realized that she wasn't the alpha in the room, it was him, then that's when she submitted to him in a way.
I do think it's lame how she then just kind of becomes irrelevant after that point. Like I do agree with that. But I do feel like it wasn't he wrestled power and she kind of, you know, didn't approve of it. I kind of felt like it was shown in the movie that, like you said, submitted to him.